everyone here. So we've been going through this year talking about health hacks, so different topics when it comes to health, helping yourself. And we really value in our office education and helping people to feel empowered to take care of themselves. You know, getting chiropractic care, taking care of your nervous system is really a lifelong journey. But really taking care of your health, I'm sure you guys would agree, is a lifelong journey. Can I get an amen there? Yeah? Okay. So it's something that, you know, we continually need to work on, think about. And so the more that you are empowered to know how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your body, one, I know you're going to be healthier for your time in the office. And two, though, you'll be able to help other people as well with that. So we talked about several topics when it comes to health hacks. I think the number one health hack is something that all of y'all are doing, which is taking care of your spine and nervous system through chiropractic care. Eating well, moving well. And the good thing is, if you've missed some of these, we have them on our YouTube page. So all you got to do is go back and look at the 3 previous workshops if you want to catch some of the information that we talked about. And tonight we're going to be talking about, boom, boom, boom. Anyone know the topic? Think well, right? Yes. Think well. So it should be, I want it to be very simplistic. And your thoughts, and when it comes to your health, can be very powerful on influence how your nervous system, how your hormones, how your really body responds on a regular basis. So think this, thinking well helps you heal well. Simple, easy thing to remember. And I'm not just talking about like the positive side of thinking, like fluff, but this is about connecting your mindset to your stress response and then ultimately to your physical health. Cool, so it's not just like, I'm gonna think positive thoughts. No, it's more about how can you help assist and guide your body towards health, towards healing, and being in tune, ultimately then having good physical health. Because good mental health really has a big impact on your overall physical health. So I wanna give you simple, practical tools that I think you can use that are gonna help you today. Help you to like calm your nervous system, help you with clearing your mind and really supporting your body's natural ability to heal and function. Cool? So when it comes to your body, it's always listening to your thoughts. Okay? So the way you think can either calm your body or it can put you and keep you in a stress mode. Okay? So we often think, you know, stress a lot of times, let's be honest, comes from other things, right? Like your schedule, family, financial stress, those different type of things. But just even how those then impact what you're thinking on a regular basis will create stress in your body. And that very often comes from even the story that you're telling yourself about your schedule, about your life, about where you're at with your health. So here's the core idea. How you think influences how you heal. Okay? Now, when it comes to that, your mindset affects your stress then affects your hormones then affect your inflammation then affects recovery. Pretty cool to think about it that way, right? So all of this, I hope, is positive because ultimately, the more that you can be in tune, and I'm not talking about like stuffing feelings. That's not what I'm talking about. It's being in tune with yourself, being honest with yourself. Where am I at today? What are the thoughts that are rattling around in my head? Because those small thoughts can create a real physical shift in your body and ultimately what we call a stress response. So the stress response, when your body undergoes different types of stress, it's either going to put you into a fight, a flight, or a freeze position. And y'all ever had that freeze experience? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm just stuck. Like, I don't know what to do, depending on the amount of stress that you're under. And so here's the deal, though. Do y'all think stress is a good thing or a bad thing? What'd you say? It can be, yes. But here's the deal. Helpful in the short term, harmful long term. So if you're staying in that constant stressed state where your body is fight or flight, freeze mode, that's where things start to cascade. And this is what we'll start to see when your body is in a chronic stressed state. fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, digestive issues, weakened immune system. So some of this might be ringing a bell for y'all. And here's how I want you to think about it. When you're in a stress response, let's say that there's a tiger that jumps out and is about to attack us. Or we're in Arkansas, how about a bear? So if a bear is about to attack us, your body's going to go into that stress response, right? Now, do you think, let's think through this logically. When you're under stress, do you think your eyes are going to constrict or dilate? Dilate. And that's because your body doesn't care about looking at fine details. It wants to see the broad picture. Because if you're running away from a bear, you need to be able to see a wide plane, so that way you don't run into something. You have better ability to see what's ahead of you. Does that make sense? Also, think about this. Does your body care about digesting food if you're being chased by a bear? No, because the stress response is all about living to see and living to fight another day, right? Also, the immune system too is going to get suppressed. Does that make sense? Because again, your body cares nothing about fighting off infections and all that type of stuff. Those two processes, digestive and immune, require massive amounts of energy from your body to be able to function properly. So it's going to suppress those things, but that's where you can imagine and see for maybe in your life, you stay chronically stressed. That's where people start to have issues with chronic infections, or you get ill and then it takes 2, 3, 4 weeks to recover from that illness. And so it's not that your body is broken, it's just because you're prioritizing stuff like survival over restoration. Does that make sense? So when it comes to stress, just think about it this way. There's survival mode. That's what's called the sympathetic part of your nervous system. And then there's rest and repair mode. So that's where resting, repairing, reproduction, digestion is going to happen. So we want a balance between the two. We want your body to be able to adapt when it has stress, but also have an appropriate stress response and get back into that rest, digest, repair mode. So you don't want to be constantly in survival mode. So again, like I said, the cool thing is, the good news is, you can control and influence your nervous system. So I always want to empower you. You have control over your health. That's the way that God designed it. Now, there's going to be stressors that we cannot predict, we cannot control. And those are the things that we have to give to God. Even when it comes to our thoughts, the Bible talks about take captive every thought. And for good reason, we need to be in tune with what we're thinking, what's going on. So one, we can give those things to God, and then He can help give us the strength to start changing that inner dialogue and the tune that's going on constantly. So these small mental shifts that we're going to talk about, getting more in tune with what you're thinking, will really help your body to change. So here's one area, and I've talked about this in previous workshops, but I talk about having a hyper focus on one thing. And I think this is critical when it comes to different aspects of your life. One, if you try to focus on all these different things, what happens most of the time? Overwhelm? Yeah, overwhelm, and then you kind of scrap the whole thing because it's like, well, I didn't do anything I wanted to because your focus is dispersed. So this idea of the magic of one, it helps you when you give your full attention to one thing that you're trying to work on. So for some of you, that might be like, hey, the care that you're receiving right now needs to be the main focus of your life. I'm pouring my energy, my soul into getting my nervous system and my spine healthy. But even then, with what we're talking about here tonight, pick one thing. Because I'm going to give you several tools, but I would encourage you to pick one thing and then get hyper-focused on that one thing and going to, okay, here's my goal. And once you see it to completion and it's become a habit, then go to the next thing. Does that make sense? Versus like, I want to implement everything. Usually doesn't work out well. So it's consistency over perfection is the idea. So I want to take a minute, and we're going to have a moment of silence. And I want you to just think about where you're at today, what your thoughts are today. And if you want to, it can be helpful too, like if you have your phone with you, open a note, and then just write down your different thoughts. So we want to notice, like, are you feeling rushed, fearful, critical? Because awareness of where your thoughts are at today, the things that you're feeling, are super important to helping you then see how you can change those thoughts. So I'm going to set a timer. Participation is not expected but encouraged. And I'm going to let y'all go. So just think about where you're at today, what's kind of plaguing you, or what joys are in your life too. Could be positive thoughts. Hey, I'm going to kick your butt in there. I'm just messing with you. All right, let's be honest. How, for some of y'all, was that like the longest minute of your life? Did it feel longer? It can be uncomfortable to like peer inward and like evaluate, okay, where am I at right now? But always taking those moments to pause, to reflect. And a good habit that I would encourage would be journaling. Any of y'all journal? Okay. Um, so many people don't journal, and for years I didn't journal because I thought, oh, I got to do these long descriptive writings, and I got to just like really, really pour my heart out. And I found for me, what helps me the best is I just commit to 5 minutes of journaling a day. And how I break it down even is I do a minute of different categories. So like for the first minute, I'll just spend, how do I feel today? What are the things that might be bothering me today? Or just trying to pour out my thoughts, emotions, those things. Then the next minute, I get into gratitude. So then I spend a minute just writing things that I'm grateful for, that have sparked my joy in my life. And then that's the next thing I move into then, or what are the things that bring me joy, especially. So thinking about, spending time with my girls. I got 3 daughters. Going and bike riding. And so it's like, visioning and recognizing, okay, these are the things that I really love to do. And then even trying to see how I can incorporate those into the day. And then from there, I move into actions. So it's like, all right, what are the big things that I'm dreaming and visioning about? And when I say actions, I more mean like, what are my big things that I would love to see happen in my life? The things that maybe God will bring our way if I start to focus on them. And then the last thing are secret service. So focusing on, okay, how can I serve other people today? What are some things that have been rolling around in my head, some opportunities that might present themselves? And it could be as simple as like, I know my wife has really been wanting to focus on working out. So how can I help her accomplish that side for her health today too? So even thinking of others. So those are the things that I do. 5 minutes, spend a minute on each thing. Don't worry about perfection, just write. But especially then in becoming aware of your thoughts, journaling is a great way to just kind of pour things out, put it on paper, and then let it be, if that makes sense too. So that would be an action step maybe that y'all need to make today when it comes to helping yourself with your stress and your thoughts. And two, another thing that you can do when you recognize where you're at, like, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, is reframing it. And again, it's not about like denying how you're feeling. It's more of thinking of it as a helpful interpretation, if that makes sense. So instead of like, I'm overwhelmed, I can take this one step at a time. So it's like, okay, I'm reframing this feeling that I'm having because it's real. And how can I reframe it to help myself move forward and get out of this freeze or fight or flight that I'm feeling that I'm in right now? Instead of like, I'll never figure this out, try, I'm learning as I go. So gentle shifts like that, it's not denial, right? But it's stability. Does that make sense? So reframing can be another powerful thing. A question I want y'all to think about is, how do you start your day? So does anyone want to give examples of what they do in the morning? Yes.
Well, on 4 days of the week,
Yep.
I get up, I get dressed, I go to my son's.
Oh, yeah.
So that he and his wife can get to work on time, and I make sure their kids get on the bus.
Love it.
And then I go back home and fix breakfast for me and my husband.
Okay. Cool. So you're
beginning of my day, 4 days
You're already out serving. I love it. Anyone else?
Still looking at my phone.
Okay.
So I scroll through and read
Uh-huh.
whatever, post news articles and stuff, and then I just get up, I feed my animals, and if I've got something to do for the day, then I take my shower and get ready
Yeah.
to do whatever, otherwise I'll sit in front of the TV.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, and so even recognizing, opportunities for growth. So the morning time can be a really good springboard for the rest of the day. So that's where maybe starting off your day, like you like the idea of journaling for 5 minutes. So first thing when you wake up, instead of reaching for your phone, you have your journal on your bedside table. You pick that up and you just spend 5 minutes writing in your journal, and then you move on. Again, not trying to create overwhelm, but what's one thing that I can do to change how I start my day and frame my mind in a better mindset to help with taking my thoughts captive. Another thing could be this gas card. So this is even easier than journaling, because you just take a card, and it doesn't have to be a card, it could be your phone. But again, trying to encourage less screen time, right? So if you have an index card, and what you do is you put it two lines and cut it into three spaces on the card. And then one column is for gratitude, the next column is for actions, and then the next column is for that service or shift. And so the focus with the gratitude, number one, is it doesn't have to be an exhaustive list, it's an index card. So you're obviously limited on the index card, but you write, 5, 6, 7 things that you're grateful for. And then in the middle, what are 1 to 2 action steps that you're going to take today to accomplish that magical one? So whatever you're hyper focused on right now, could be your health, could be something with work, could be with family. Then you write down the 1 to 2 action steps that you're going to do that day to help you accomplish what you're hyper focused on. And then the last one is the secret service. So I'm sure y'all would agree, when you're focused on others too, brings more joy to life. And so looking for those opportunities, like, hey, my secret service is doing what I normally do, but I'm gonna go serve my kiddos, go over, take care of the grandkids, and then move on with my day. And so it's just looking for those opportunities. So the gas card's good because you can put that in your pocket, and then you can reference it throughout the day. When you're having some of those thoughts that you're feeling, you can look at your gas card, and maybe you've already got the thought that you're struggling with too. So my action today is to reframe from I'm overwhelmed to I'm taking this one step at a time, or I can do this, whatever it may be. Cool? Any questions on the gas card? All right. So, and then other things just practically too, when it comes to helping manage your thoughts and take care of your body, these are some simple ways that you can also help calm your body. So you're starting to be aware, okay, I'm feeling that panic, that overwhelm, that anxiety, whatever thoughts you feel like are driving your body into that stress state. So one can be doing some slow breathing. Any of y'all ever heard of box breathing? Okay, so box breathing is a great technique. What it is you inhale for 4 seconds. So let's do that together. Hold for 4 at the top. Exhale for 4. And then hold at the bottom. Cool. So it's a box. 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. So it's a good tool that you can have in your tool belt to, again, and they've shown that box breathing is a great way to help assuage the nervous system, to help calm it down, slow the processes down. So slow breathing, and not just like, oh, I'm going to breathe slow, but it's intentional. Having to focus on something else besides what's rattling around your head can also help. Stepping outside, y'all ever felt that? Like, man, I'm just feeling like, and you've been stuck inside all day, and then you step outside and it's like, ah. So that can be another good thing too, especially like for some of y'all that work and your job requires you to be inside all day. I would encourage you to take breaks regularly and step outside, because that can make a massive difference. And then drinking water. Y'all carry, yeah, see, like, I love the boom right there. And I got where did mine go? I put it right here. Cool. I got my water bottle. Yeah, it blended in with the black adjustment table. So this is what I carry around for myself, and just take water sips regularly, and then pausing also between tasks. And that's something we've been working on with the team, because some people have different roles. So like we have our time we're taking care of patients, and then we move into like administrative hours, and then later in the day we come back and have patient hours again. So even encouraging my team to like, okay, take a break, 10, 15 minutes, decompress from whatever you were doing, maybe write down where you were at, let that kind of dump, and then transition to your next thing that you're going to do. And then when you're done with that task, okay, let's have a brain dump again, write down where you were at, and then shift and transition again. So even looking at your day in chunks like that, and as you're transitioning, trying to take those purposeful pauses can really make a massive difference. Supporting your body as well, so getting enough rest. Any y'all nap in the middle of the day if you have time? Okay, love it. So some of y'all might be nappers. I'm a napper. I like to get a 15 to 20-minute power nap in the middle of the day if my girls will let me. Go home for a few minutes, sprawl out on the couch. Nourishment, and so we talked a lot about too, eating well, how to fuel your body, how to nourish the body. And then moments of calm. So what we just talked about are purposeful moments to help just give yourself a break. So many of us like to overschedule that we just don't have those moments to purposely pause, decompress, and then have a moment to then transition into the next thing as well. Can be super helpful. So thinking about too, like removing what overwhelms. You know, one of the most powerful words in the English language. Anyone know what it is? No. So, like giving yourself permission to say no. Like that can be one of the healthiest things for many of us is like, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I have so much overcommitted and overscheduled. And I know many of y'all are moms. And one of the comments I hear a lot from moms is like, I looked after everyone else and put myself last. I think y'all deserve, and God wants you to think about yourself first. Because the idea of like trying to pour from an empty cup to take care of others, if you're already empty, you're given from fumes. And so if you want to really serve people, taking care of yourself first and putting those boundaries can be one of the most powerful things that you'll see it. I'm actually doing better at taking care of others because I am taking care of number one first. And I think that's what God wants for us is like, take care of your body, take care of your health, and then you can serve me at your fullest, and I will help equip and empower you to do so as well. And just wanted to throw this in here because chiropractic and stress plays a big role. Many of you probably noticed, like through your chiropractic care, you've seen drastic improvements in your overall health. And that's because chiropractic care and the work that we do is focused on helping to have a healthy nervous system. The better that your body can adapt to stress, the more that you can handle. And not that you want to be able to handle more so you can put more on your plate, but it's so that when you do have those unexpected events that come your way, you can handle them. Does that make sense? So chiropractic, think of it as like, you know, some of y'all came in and you only had a 12-ounce cup that your body could handle when it came to stress. And so now through taking care of your health, through your spine, you've like doubled or tripled what your body can handle and adapt to. And then doing these other things on top of that can help tremendously. So that's where too, the things that we talked about at the beginning, doing your home care, having good spinal hygiene, doing your dinner roll. Y'all been doing that more? Okay, great. The dinner roll makes a massive difference. And that's again, another tool like that y'all have, doing the dinner roll. And if you haven't got it yet, you'll get it. Whatever your spine needs, is a good way too to decompress. Because we talked about resting. Well, what do you have to do when you're on the dinner roll? Rest 15 to 20 minutes. So there's a dual benefit of why we want you to do it. One, it helps to get the spine into a better position. But two, then when your spine is healthy, it helps to then maintain a healthy nervous system and a good, healthy stress response, if that makes sense. And so when you get adjusted too, they've done research and shown that it can shift your brain's neurology. Like if you come in and you're in that flight or flight response, they've shown how post-adjustment, it'll flip from what's called the hindbrain, which is where a lot of the stress response is located, and it'll flip your neurology into the frontal cortex, which is where you have that rest and digest. That's where creativity, thought, problem solving happens is here. So, two, if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, give me a call. come in. I'll get you an extra adjustment if you need it. So my encouragement, I hope, has been that, one, you don't have to do everything, right? Two, just begin somewhere. And ultimately, small changes will make a lasting impact on your health. So one thing from tonight, think about that. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to commit to it. If you have something to write on, write down what you're going to do this next week. And it could be even, I'm not going to listen to Dr. Ben. That's fine if that's what you write. Won't offend me. I'm just the messenger here. So 30 seconds, think about which one thing from what I talked about tonight you want to take away. Okay, does anyone want to share the one thing they took away that they're going to implement? Journaling. Cool. Right?
She's got a head start on.
That's right. I love it, Tanya. So I promise you I would pick on her. What's your one thing?
Well, it's funny because yesterday I spent 8 hours in a class, and it's called Getting Things Done.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen the class by David Allen?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so it's kind of like a way to relieve your stress.
Yep.
But it's a way to like capture, clarify, organize, like all the things. And so like journaling is great, but it's like in and out. So whatever crosses your mind, you write it down. Whether you do anything with it,
Yes.
who cares?
Correct.
But you're writing it down.
Yep.
And then like the next step is like clarifying those things and putting them in order of like what's important, or like you need to paint your daughter's room. Is that something you're going to do now?
Yep.
No, absolutely not. Can you do it in 2 minutes? If you can do it in 2 minutes, then do it. Don't put it on your list. So it's kind of like the same thing. So I'm a little overwhelmed because I'm thinking about that stuff from yesterday, but then this kind of goes with it. So I don't know. That's something else to do with the journaling. Like not, like you say, you don't have to write a book, but if you've got, I got to get my taxes done, and I've got to, go pick up dry cleaning, like just stuff that keeps you organized and stress-free.
Yep.
So to speak. So,
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I'm sorry if I created overwhelm.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just like thinking of that stuff and then like trying to follow along, and I'm like, man, keeping it all.
Oh, yes.
If I'd have brought my book, see, I could have just, but I didn't.
All right. Next time. Next time, bring your book. All right. Anybody else? No pressure? Okay, cool. So next time in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about sleeping well. Because guess what's coming up? Time change. Maybe. It'd be nice if we stop it. There's a lot of research that looks at statistics and like around the time of time change, they see a spike in cardiovascular events, heart attacks, strokes, that type of stuff around the time change, because just that is stressful on us. So I'm going to be talking, though, about tips, tricks, things that you can do to help your body to sleep better at night. So I think it should be applicable. All of us could benefit from at least 30 minutes to an hour more of sleep, right? So again, we're recording this. It will be on YouTube. So if you missed stuff, you can go back, watch the video. If you want to watch any of the other 3, go back and do that. And if you can't make a workshop, we are recording them. I always think it's best done live and in person, but love to catch you all.